The Battle of Antietam was a fight no one would forget. Fought between the Union General George B. McClellan and the Confederate Robert E. Lee, it marked a turning point in the war, as President Lincoln was able to announce the Emancipation Proclamation, but also made people realize the horrors of war through Alexander Gardner's photos, taken barely days after the battle. With over 3,000 men killed and 16,000 wounded, Antietam was the bloodiest day in history, having more casualties than D-Day in World War II or the 9/11 bombings.
8:30 a.m. on September 17, 1862, Joseph Hooker's First Corps attacked Hagerstead Turnpike with only 900 men, more than the defending Stonewall Jackson sat in a strong defense position. As they entered the cornfield across the turnpike, artillery tore up advancing units on both sides. Eventually, Union troops had to retreat due to lack of reinforcements. One of the commanders was wounded, and the other got off of his horse and ran for his life.
Other northern attacks did better than Hooker's First Corps. A unit called the Iron Brigade marched into the cornfield and took out Jackson's men. Reserve soldiers from the West Woods led a counterattack on the Iron Brigade, but withdrew from their fire, with their leader mortally wounded.
Accompanied by 3 brigades of fresh reinforcements, Brigadier General John Hood attacked from the West Woods. Meanwhile, some of the Iron Brigade started to defend some artillery and caused the Confederates a huge sum of casualties, 60% of the force, although they held off the Union. Hooker called for reinforcements from a corps full of untrained troops. Brigadier General William French attacked General D.H. Hill in a series of assaults against Confederate troops in a trench. After 3 failures, French's division had over 1,750 casualties in under an hour.
Later, Union troops threatened the Confederate line, and the Confederates accidentally retreated due to a misunderstood order.
On the verge of collapse, a Confederate counterattack saved the defense from crumbling. McClellan lost a chance to break the enemy line, and this ended the midday phase.
General Ambrose Burnside had 12,500 soldiers and 50 guns to storm Antietam Creek. With only 1/4 of their numbers, Confederates desperately defended the bridge crossing the creek, but had an advantage, for they could shoot the enemy. The Union was repelled 3 times, but was taken as Confederates called retreat.
General Lee left his right flank weak, depending on the arrival of an incoming division led by A.P. Hill. Instead, he reinforced his left.
A.P. Hill's division attacked the Union and confused them with the stolen uniforms from Harper's Ferry. In the end, Ambrose Burnside retreated to the bridge and spent the day guarding it. This ended the Battle of Antietam.
The next day, both sides came to a truce.
And Lee left the battlefield.
This claimed a victory for the Union.